Today at the Hard Rock Cafe Chicago, Mitch sits down with Dez Clark and talks about his journey to the NFL as well as his foundation, 88 Ways. I'm Lauren Struck, these are my girls, and this is Sports City Chicago.
Welcome to Sports City Chicago. Mitch Robinson here at the Hard Rock Cafe. Band called Catch with us once again. And today, very proud to introduce NFL tight end Dez Clark with us. Dez, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all having me.
We like to start off and talk and kind of take you through the journey and find out what your path to the NFL and business world was. At what age were you always, you're a tall guy and everything. At what age were you like 6 feet tall?
I didn't sprout up until after my 8th grade year. That's when I started to get some height. My 9th grade started growing, but I was always a little thin guy. So I think I got my first dunk when I was in the 8th grade, in between the 8th and the 9th grade. So that's when I kind of started getting my athletic ability.
Were you the best athlete in your family, or were?
I got some athletes in my family. My older brothers were pretty good athletes. They didn't make it as far as I did, and now I have a younger brother who's a starting quarterback at East Carolina. He led the nation in passing touchdowns last year, and he came out this year and kind of is taking over where he left off last year. So it's yet to be determined.
How tight was your family unit growing up? Was it one where you always knew a brother or mother, somebody had your back wherever you were?
No, the whole family had your back. I grew up in a single parent family home, and our mom was the rock of that family. So it's 4 brothers. And it doesn't matter wherever we at. I know I always got 3 brothers that have my back, and the mother and my father also. So we are a tight family, and we always look out for each other.
Florida, the hotbed of one of the hotbeds of football coming up.
It's the hotbed, not one of. It's the hotbed.
I'll fight with you. I'm a Jersey guy.
Jersey?
Come on.
You can't fight with Jersey. Maybe if you was California or Texas or somebody like that, you can't fight with Jersey.
Well, we have better pizza than Florida. Has
okay,
no food.
We'll give that to you.
Okay. So growing up, at what point did they start to push football on you, or is that just something that every kid has to play at a young age and kind of follow through?
In our family, you almost have to. I've been playing football since I was 6.
Was your high school team good?
No, we weren't. Let me rephrase that. My 10th grade year, I played with a guy named Ray Lewis.
Oh, really?
And so
Ray Lewis?
The Ray Lewis. So we were pretty good that year, but after he left, and it wasn't so good after that.
When did the recruiting process start for you in high school?
It really started during my senior year. I think my junior year, it was lukewarm, I think, just because decent athlete. But I think I really benefited from a couple other guys that were on my football team. We had one guy in particular, his name was Ken Bridges, and he was a big guy, 220 pounds, played linebacker and tailback. A lot of teams was coming to watch him, and it's this other quarterback here that seems to be a pretty decent athlete also. So I think I benefited a lot from him, and then went on to Wake Forest to play receiver. But I got pretty good recruitment in my senior year. As
a quarterback, were you more of a pocket passer? Did you run around?
I was an option quarterback.
So you ran the ball?
Ran the ball. That's what I did. I think my senior year, I was trying to get 1,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing. I came up short on both of them, but I was
nice set a goal though.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. No, I think I did get 1,000 yards passing, but rushing I came up.
I love to ask every athlete this because you guys are ridiculous. I'm going to ask you what your best game was, and I bet you can tell me the stats from it too.
Something in high school?
Yep.
No, I can't.
Really? Most of the guys saying, "Oh yeah, there was that game against such and such, 5 touchdowns."
I had a game. I know I had a game I can't even remember who it was, Tampa Jesuit, I believe it was, and I had 3 rushing touchdowns that game. But I can't tell you how many yards I had. I know I had like a 70-something yard touchdown, and I know that because I watched my highlight tape like just about a few months ago.
Oh, really? You go back and watch the high school highlight tape?
Why not? Especially right before you go to training camp, just pump yourself up a little bit. Yeah, I'm still the man. So look at what I used to do back in high school to these little dudes. So yeah, I watched it a couple months ago.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the recruitment process and then your time at Wake Forest and in communications. He's Dez Clark of the NFL, tight end, and band called Catch with us. We'll be right back.
1, 2, 3 to 5. What a great day it is to be alive. I'm feeling like I did back when I was just a wee little kid. Yeah, you get high, but you never outlook.
All right, welcome back to Hard Rock Cafe, Sports Day Chicago with Dez Clark. All right, so you're coming out of high school. Who was the biggest influence for you in high school, whether it was academics or sports? What was it, a coach? Was it your mom, or was it someone else?
I would have to say it was my mom and my next to oldest brother, Paul. You know, he was on those sidelines yelling, screaming. I remember one play in particular, we were playing against our rival high school, Lakeland. And I scored a touchdown off an option play, and I go into the end zone, and who's standing like right there next to the end zone, almost in the end zone, my brother. So I'm like, what are you doing on the field? Like, but nah, he was a real inspiration. And then, you know, just seeing what my mother had went through, I always wanted to be the son that she could be proud of, and you know, just make life easier on her.
So now you're getting recruited. How many colleges start talking to you? Were there a few?
No, it was a good amount. You know, I got recruited by, I think I took my 5 recruiting visits to Central Florida, North Carolina State, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, and I'm missing one somewhere, but those are my 4. Oh, Georgia Tech.
Okay, so out of those schools, Georgia Tech back then had a nice football program.
Yes, but they was running the option.
Okay, so NC State the Wolfpack always has a strong program.
Recruited me as an athlete.
Okay, and then you've got Virginia Tech, great program.
Recruited me as an athlete or a quarterback that was going to run the option.
And what did Central Florida want?
Central Florida, Dante Culpepper was coming in as a quarterback, so I was going to go in as a receiver.
And Wake says
Wake
receiver?
Forest said receiver.
And why'd you pick Wake Forest?
Because it came down between Central Florida, Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech. The 2 schools that wanted me as a receiver because that's what I wanted to play, and then Virginia Tech because that was the best program.
Right.
But I didn't want to go to a school as an athlete because I don't play defense. I just wanted to play receiver, so that's why I ended up going to Wake.
How hard is it to devote and divide your time between what you have to do as a college athlete and what you have to do academically to get through?
Well, especially that first semester because I went in and I played right away. I didn't redshirt, so I didn't have the luxury of acclimating myself to college life. I went right in and started playing, and that first semester I had like a 1.6 grade point average or something like that, trying to juggle everything, and I got on academic probation. But after that point, you know, I was pretty good, ended up with a 2.8 grade point average, and that's just because I didn't apply myself the right way. I wish I could go back and do it again.
When you got towards the end of your college career, what were your records at Wake? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Am I embarrassing you?
No, not at all. 216 catches, 2,700 yards. I did have a touchdown against every ACC school, and I left school as a leading pass receiver and also the leading ACC leading receiver.
Communications major at the school?
Yes, communications major. And I picked the right major because
you like to talk.
Well, not only that, it was interesting and the most interesting class that I had was hostage negotiations. Like I used to be at that class early because it was all role play all the time. Like we had book assignments, but the main thing was the whole class was about building up to this hostage negotiation that we had to do for our final project. And that was the best class ever.
Give me the most memorable moment for you on the field. College career.
Yeah, and this is a good story to tell up in Chicago. It was against Northwestern. It was the year before they went to the the Rose Bowl.
Right.
But we beat them the year they went to the Rose Bowl too. But the year before they went to the Rose Bowl, it was like 51 seconds left in the game. They up by 3, 4, 5 points. And post route, straight down the post, caught it over 2 defenders, touchdown. We win the game with like 40-something seconds to go. And that was probably the biggest catch of my career because at the time Northwestern had a good team. They were up and coming. And that was the biggest catch of my career. That kind of catapulted me so people started watching to see who I was on the field.
Has Pat Fitzgerald forgiven you since then?
I don't know if he was the coach. Was he the coach back then?
I think he was playing then. I think he might have been. He might have been a linebacker back then.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. You know,
we're gonna have to look and see who was on that team.
I still remember it vividly.
Was Nick playing against you?
It was a night game. No,
Nick younger.
Nick's a little younger. Yeah. Nick. Man, we're not gonna get in there. Nick give me crap about my age all the time.
Well, you're the youngest guy on the table here, so I'll tell you. When we come back, we'll talk about the pro career, but more importantly, too, Dez's foundation and what he's also doing on the side of football as he looks forward to a life in business with the next chapter. Stay with us. Band called Catch. Take it away.
Moon pie, moon pie, moon pie, moon pie, I'll treat her. Moon pie, moon pie, moon pie, moon pie, I'll treat her. Moon pie, moon ball ride.
All right, welcome back to Sports Day Chicago. Band called Catch here at Hard Rock Cafe in Chicago with Dez Clark. And Dez, you get into the pros. You've had a great career. It's still going. Getting over an injury right now. But you came in for the Denver Broncos, and then you came over to Chicago.
I had a brief stop in Miami.
No one remembers that one.
I don't either.
Did you play any games there?
I did, but it wasn't anything that I remember vividly or even care to talk about. So I got to Chicago.
Yeah, so you get to Chicago. How hard is it to put together a 10, 11, 12-year career as you got going now? I mean, the toll on your body, when you wake up in the morning, you sore everywhere?
No, I feel pretty good, man. Going into the camp this year, I was joking with a bunch of the young guys, telling them I feel better than 75% of you guys right now at the age of 34. I was the second oldest guy on the team at the time. But no, I mean, I've just been blessed to not have any major injuries and just to keep my body in pretty decent shape. When I wake up in the morning, I feel good.
I know offensive and defensive linemen do a little talking out there on the line.
Yeah,
do you hear
a
lot?
Yeah.
Do you hear it from cornerbacks or safeties and linebackers that are trying to cover you, or what?
You know, sometimes you got guys that just talk.
Okay.
I mean, Finnegan, a guy that we played against this preseason, he don't shut up. I mean, and he's talking for no reason. But then you got guys that, you know, try to intimidate you and things like that. But I'm a guy, I stay pretty quiet until I'm provoked. And then, and the reason why I stay quiet, I try to stay calm and composed during the whole game. You think better, you're able to react faster if you keep your emotions in check. So I stay pretty quiet, but that's how some guys play. They play with their mouth, and that gets them going and gets them pumped up. So, you know, whatever floats your boat.
How is it, can you compare catching passes from different quarterbacks? Is there a huge difference between a Jay Cutler and someone you had on Denver or whatever?
Yeah, it's a huge difference between Jay Cutler and a Craig Krenzel.
Yes,
it's a huge
Jay
difference.
whistles it, doesn't he?
Yeah, and yeah, he gets the ball out a little quicker and a little faster than some quarterbacks. But, you know, playing with a Rex Grossman, a Kyle Orton, and Jay Cutler, all those guys had pretty good arms. So it's not a whole lot of difference in the velocity and how they throw the ball. All three of those guys are pretty good quarterbacks.
Now, on the side of football, you started a foundation a couple of years ago, 88 Ways Foundation. Talk about that. What are you trying to do with this foundation, and where did the whole process come from?
Well, it came from, we had our chaplain up in Chicago handed me a book called Can I Call You Soldier? Read through it, and it kind of tugged at me because the main point in there was, what are we doing to give back to our younger boys? You know, are we bridging that gap? So after I read the book, I asked the chaplain, you know, can I meet this guy? He was right down in Champaign, and we had a meeting, and I had an organization before, but it was just something that I would go back and do a weekend of events, and that was it. And I told the guy who wrote the book, his name is Dr. Davis, told him that I wanted to do something that was going to have a lasting effect, whether I was there or not. and he gave me the Talks Mentoring Program. And since then, we've been running with the Talks Mentoring Program, and it's paying dividends. I've been doing it for 3 years down in my hometown of Lakeland, Florida, and this will be the first year that I'm bringing it up here in Chicago. I mean, it's a great program, and actually down in Lakeland, the whole county is looking to adapt that program for the countywide mentoring program.
What's been the most rewarding for you? Is it coming from a parent or a kid who comes back to you and says you really changed their life, or has it been the way that the community has opened up and really helped out and done everything to help support you?
Well, the program is for the community. That's what I wanted to do, is set something up, like I said, so if I'm not there, the community takes over it, and that's what the community has done down there. But funny story, I'm driving down the street, and you know, I could tell somebody's looking at me. You know, you don't really want to make eye contact because, you know, they probably know you, but you don't know them. So as I'm pulling off, I mean, I saw they blowing the horn, and we get to the next light. And now I'm trying to speed up because I don't know what the hell is going on. And I get to the next light, and the lady pulls up, rolls down her window. My son is in your 88 Ways program, and he went to your camp last year. I just want to thank you because it made a big difference. And, you know, you never know how much of a difference you're making. And it's not necessarily anything I did. You know, I'm just the name and the face on it, and I get out there and do things, but it's the people in the community, those mentors who are making the difference to these kids.
How can people get either information on this or help out by either donations or donating time for you guys?
Well, that's what we're really looking to do is to get the information out about 88 Ways coming here in Chicago. We have 2 schools that we're going to go into in January, just as a pilot up here in Chicago for the first year. But we're looking for donors. We're looking for board members. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for mentors to get involved. And if anybody want to get involved, they can go to the website www.88ways, and that's WAYZ, the number 88 WAYZ.com, and just explore that website. We have everything that you would need to see on there. And if you want to get involved, if you have a passion for helping kids, I would say get involved because it's probably the most rewarding thing that you could do.
Program that you can envision going national at some point?
Yeah, this is actually what I want to do once I get done playing football. I mean, I have interest in doing radio. I got offered a job to come in and do some management with community association management. I mean, I have options, but my heart is giving back and helping. So if I could do this is what I do because it's nothing more rewarding than helping somebody else.
One other thing you got going out too, which I bring up here, you were tweeting about this, and I said I got to check this out. Yeah. This is what is the official name?
Well, I don't have an official name.
Well, we may have to have a contest for that.
Yeah, we may have to have a contest for that. Right now, I just call it the 88 Rub. I mean,
I'm
so vain. I name everything after my number. So,
what if you go to a team that doesn't have 88 available?
You know what? Everybody will always know me as 88 because if I go to another team, I got another year or 2 to be in the league. Maybe. So everybody will always know me as 88.
This is the Desmond Clark dry rub.
Yeah, for ribs, chicken. I mean, it's the best thing going. Just ask Frank O'Meal. Frank, I gave Frank some, and he left it up here in the off season. Frank called me, Dez, I gotta get some more of the rub, man. Can you send it to me? Like it was like he was fiending for it, but it's pretty good.
Can you cook?
Oh, I can. I mean, you've seen some of the cooking shows and stuff around town.
You do a couple of those, don't you?
Yeah.
So is this a sweet, a spicy, a hot? What are we talking about?
It's sweet and spicy. It's not too hot. You get a little sweetness in it from some of the ingredients that I put in there that I'm not going to tell you. But then you get a little kick at the end, but it's not too spicy. It's a good blend. On
Sports Buzz, we're going to be doing we're cooking with this.
Let's do it.
When we come back, we'll do our 5 questions with Dez Clark. Also, Man on the Street, they're asking their questions with Melissa and Desiree. But for now, it's Band Called Catch.
Sports City Chicago girls Melissa and Desiree hit the streets and ask Chicagoans what they want to know about Desmond Clark.
What's your name?
Frank.
Frank, so if you had any question to ask Desmond Clark, who we're interviewing tomorrow, what would it be?
All right, Desmond Clark, I would like to know what's your most memorable moment with the Bears.
Oh, that's the easy one. Coming out of the tunnel for the Super Bowl because, you know, as a kid, you grow up watching that. And as I'm running out of the tunnel, you see all the camera flashes and stuff like that. I had to, like, take a moment and compose myself because everything was just coming up. And you know, that's a big moment. You got the whole world watching you, and you finally made it to the pinnacle of your profession.
Hi, my name is Melissa Klein with Sports City Chicago. What's something that you've always wanted to ask a Bears?
Desmond Clark, I wanted to ask him, what was it like the first time he stepped on the field? I mean, like, when did he get the bug to become a football player?
When I first started playing, man, the football was great. I didn't know I was going to be a professional football player, but I mean, I wasn't like going to miss a game, practice, game, anything. If I was hurt, I was still trying to get out there. So it's just been a passion of mine since I first stepped on the football field. The first professional game that I played, I mean, I was nervous as heck because, you know, I'm a 6th-round draft pick. You know, no. Actually, the first play I ever played was the first play of the preseason game. And who do I have in front of me? Junior Seau.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so that wasn't fun. Shannon Sharp got hurt, so I actually started that game as a 3rd tight end. And Junior Seau went right past me, but I had a good running back by the name of Terrell Davis that made a miss, so it saved the day for me. I like his enthusiasm on the question when I get that bug.
All right, let me ask you, this is what we do every week. It's my 5 questions with you. I got them written down here. First thing that comes to the top of your mind, on top of your head for an answer, okay?
That could be dangerous.
It could be. First one, because I know how passionate you are. Favorite golf course?
Ooh, man, I don't have a favorite golf course, but the TPC Sawgrass, I really want to play that one, but I haven't played it, so I can't really say it's my favorite. So but that's the one that I want to play up in Jacksonville.
So if we can get it over to them and invite Dez to play, I'll be his caddy for the day.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm trying to go out and play today, so if anybody wants to invite me out to play free golf, feel free.
Most romantic spot in Florida?
My home. Yes, I will have to say that. I could decorate that anywhere I need to.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, New Jack City.
New Jack City. Best meal you know how to cook?
Man, I cook so many. My ribs pretty good. I make a good garlic chicken dish. So soul food is always good too. Man, I got a lot of dishes.
And the best advice you've ever had, what was it?
From my high school coach, he told me, he pulled me to the side and told me, all I have is my last name, always keep it clean. So I've been living by that ever since he told me that my 11th grade year in high school.
All right, thanks a lot, Dez, for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, get back on the field soon, okay? And for everyone else, thank you for the Hard Rock Cafe for having us here. Also, all the girls for helping out. And Band Called Catch, you can learn more about their upcoming CD and concerts at www.bandcalledcatch.com. I'm Mitch Robinson. We'll see you next time on Sports City Chicago.
Cigarette, I'm gonna run around town with the sound. Think about what a cigarette. An Eskimo kiss down to my lips, a declaration for me and you in my fingertips. What a cigarette. Yeah, I know what you want, I got it in to show you how to catch a tea, and baby don't ever fear, I'm gonna get there. Oh,